All right, welcome once again. This is Breakthrough with Jeff, and this is the place where we live life with zero limits. We believe there are no limits. This is where we stretch the boundaries and question the patterns, break the limiting patterns, and design the story that is aligned with our ideal life. And today in the show, I have Coach Moriah. Please, Coach, introduce yourself so we can go into the conversation for the day.
Thank you so much, Coach Jeff, for hosting me. I'm glad to be here to discuss my chapter in the upcoming book that we have teamed up together to work on. I am a coach, a life coach, certified at Destiny Life Coaching. And maybe just a bit about myself is I grew up in Nairobi, Kenya. I'm a mom of 3, and my niche in coaching is post-trauma. And my chapter in the book is Self-Sabotage. I'm very glad to be here.
Wow. You're welcome, Coach, and happy to have you here. Tell us more about the self-sabotage journey and post-trauma and how we can get helped.
All right. Self-sabotage is basically you working against yourself, either consciously or unconsciously, and therefore living in more of what feels like a wheel that doesn't stop, a wheel that sometimes feels like it's spinning out of control, yet you are at the steering wheel the whole time. So maybe the best example would be to have a faulty, what's that place where it shows check engine on your vehicle that's faulty. So if that view is faulty, you can't tell what part of your engine is broken. But when you drive your car every time, then you realize something is not right. So that's what self-sabotage feels like, where in another way, just to clarify, that is to stop driving the car, take it to a mechanic, have it checked out, have someone who has that machine to check your engine for you and let you know, this was the area. That's what happened to me. After such a long time of just driving the car of my life while it was faulty, and for many different reasons, I hadn't found yet a place to take it for a check until I came to Destiny Life Coaching. It played a very, very crucial role in helping me stop. First of all, stopping was a big deal for me, because I think also in my nature, I like to keep things moving. I like to keep seeing action. And so having to stop and just wait, like in a waiting room and waiting for your name to be called. And then you go in there and you begin to do the work. That was like a serious open heart operation for me. I'll never forget my experience, especially when we were doing a return to love. And it really shook me, and it shook my core, because again, it was leaning towards the 4 pillars at Destiny Life Coaching, which first of all was my perspective. So also in my work, most of what the mantra behind my work is assigning meaning. And I think very many people struggling with self-sabotage are in that space because they have not yet assigned meaning to experiences in their lives. They've not yet assigned meaning to situations.
Wow. I love the metaphor and your journey. I'm so excited to just hear what Destiny Life Coaching is doing. Through you. You become like an ambassador for us, and I'm really proud of you and what you're doing out there. So you talked about the 4 pillars of destiny. You talked about patterns and how they impacted you. Many people think coaches don't have challenges. Is we are helping people because we are perfect. Yeah. but we've
Mhm.
had a journey, isn't it?
Yes, we have. Yes, we
Yeah,
have. And it's been very transformational. I
yeah,
think not only as a coach, but also as a person, because
yeah.
if you see that coach as not being human, then you
Mm-hmm.
have already self-sabotaged yourself
Yes,
and your
yes,
experience.
yeah.
So the effect of self-sabotage is
Mm-hmm.
really keeping a pure perspective in coaching.
Mm-hmm.
When you're working with a coach, just do your
Mm-hmm.
best to keep a pure perspective and also to understand the purpose of the engagement. You know,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, like I said, there were so many faulty things on my
Mm-hmm.
dashboard. Yes, that's what it's called,
Yes,
a dashboard.
yes,
And because
yes.
it was faulty, because it
Mm-hmm.
came from my childhood. You see, in life, I think it's very important that we understand that we are born into situations. We are
That's true.
born into other people's experiences, our parents, our
Mm-hmm.
siblings. We are born into those experiences. We did not ask to come, we just come. And so
Yeah.
that realization,
Mm-hmm.
unless, first of all, God helps you, and then
Yes.
as you grow and you monitor, you have to have
Mm-hmm.
a lot of intentionality. I'll never forget the first time that word intentional came out
Mm-hmm.
to me. I
Yeah.
was being mentored, and my mentor asked me what
Mm-hmm.
what one word what
Mm-hmm.
one word
Mm-hmm.
defines your business. And I told
Yeah.
them I want my clients to be intentional.
Mm,
And
mm,
that word really jumped out at me. And I realized that intentionality is not perfection. So I
mm-hmm.
guess also as a person, being a
Yeah.
melancholy somehow,
Yeah.
I do find myself, and in my story there, you'll see how I had set for myself an
Mm,
attainable
mm,
challenges, even as a
yeah.
child, because I thought that being perfect would
Mm-hmm.
make people love me more, want
Yes.
to be around me more. And
Mm-hmm.
the only thing that burst was more sabotage, because as you read my chapter, you will
Mm-hmm.
see that I didn't get what I wanted. I actually lost the little that
Mm,
I had. So I
yeah.
have learned that when I'm going through life and when I'm
Mm-hmm.
walking my clients through life, it's really about the meaning. What's the
Yes.
meaning of this? We need
Yeah.
to label this. If you go through life without labeling situations and being able to live with them, then
Yeah.
you always feel like someone else is in control.
Yes. Yes. Give away the power.
Exactly.
Yeah. We're giving
Exactly.
away our power. And coach, why do people self-sabotage? Like you said, it's coming from their childhood. What else is causing an adult? Because this we are most of these clients and people you meet, they are adults. Um, why would I self-sabotage over and over again and keep doing it while common sense just tells me this is hurting me, is hurting my life, my habit. Why do we keep doing this self-sabotage behavior?
I think
Mm-hmm.
one of the reasons that people keep self-sabotaging is
Mm-hmm.
because first, you feel helpless.
Yeah.
That means, like you said earlier, you've given the power away.
Yeah.
And another thing is because you do not have an identity. Your
Mm-hmm.
identity is not firm.
Identity.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's not
Mm-hmm.
really an identity crisis, it's
Yeah.
knowing yourself. And I remember
Yes.
after
Yes.
Destiny,
Yes.
after my
Yes.
experience with Destiny, I came home with a resounding definition of who I am. I am
Yes.
Mariah Mwangi, a child
Yes.
of God, born to
Mm.
do this. My life
Mm.
will do this. Future
Yes.
generations depend on me. And that
Yes.
really carried me through. And I would look into the mirror every morning, and I
Awesome.
still do. And I
Yes.
look
Yes.
in there and I say, I am Moriah, child of the
Mm.
Most High God. Everything
Mm.
shall work in my favor. And
Yes.
and sometimes it feels like You know, on a bad day, it feels like, are we just
Mm,
doing this to go with the wind, or
mm,
are we doing
mm,
it because someone said it works? But
mm.
that little investment on a very
Yes.
rainy, stormy
Mm,
day has
mm.
reminded my mind. You know,
Yes.
there are parts of
Yes.
us that we work with, and the
Mm-hmm.
way I work with, especially clients, because sometimes self-sabotage can open you up to trauma. That was one thing
Mm,
I realized. Because you're
yeah.
already open to hurt yourself,
Mm-hmm.
other
Mm-hmm.
people feel like they have leeway to hurt
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
because they can
True.
tell first your boundaries
You're
are
already
low.
hurting yourself, so you need help.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
Uh-huh.
So they come in
Yeah.
and they chip in on the hurt and the pain. And
Yes.
unless it gets so bad, which is what I
Mm,
also like about Destiny, that
mm-hmm.
when you're working with a client and you're trying to help them
Yeah.
understand or unearth their patterns, the one of
Mm-hmm.
the questions we ask is, so how much longer would you
Mm.
like to stay with this situation? How
Yes.
much longer
Yes.
would you like to blame your
Mm.
childhood? How much
Mm.
longer would you like to assign the wrong meaning to your
Mm-hmm.
experience? You know?
Yes.
And
Yes.
so I feel like self-sabotage is really, it's really something that's a burden that
Mm-hmm.
someone carries either unknowingly
Mm-hmm.
or it
Mm-hmm.
comforts them. There are people who like to self-soothe. And this is
Mm.
a
Mm.
stage of that
Mm.
self-sabotage where you'll go somewhere and you're self-soothing. What's wrong? You know, you look down,
Mm.
you're
Mm.
hoping someone will show you mercy. And then they're like, oh my God, that looks like good prey for me. So shortly,
Mm.
that person is now looking like, I know
Yeah.
where to go. If I need,
Yes.
if I need to pounce on something, that's my
Mm.
target. So self-sabotage
Mm.
has many angles to it.
Yeah.
And the beauty of it is that once you're able to work to the point where you can create your project life vision, no matter
Yeah.
where you're starting at, whether you're a child or an adult, because you asked about adults, my
Mm-hmm.
first thing, which was another experience I got from Destiny, one of the coaches worked with me one session only, and I was afraid to go back. To be
Mm-hmm.
honest, I was afraid to go back. But they helped me. They introduced healing my inner child. And
Yes.
because I know the
Mm-hmm.
damage my inner child had faced, I just
Yeah.
gave them one chance. I was like,
Yes.
let's do one chance. And when I
Mm.
went there, I met my inner child,
Mm.
and
Mm.
it I
Mm.
really connected with them in a
Mm.
very deep way, in a very painful way as well. And I was
Mm.
happy that they showed up for me, because
Mm.
it
Mm.
was a process and having to meet my inner child. And then there were
Mm-hmm.
promises that I made to that inner child of mine. And one of the
Yes.
promises that I'm yet to fulfill is to
Mm-hmm.
keep going back to them.
Yes.
So as an adult, I work with my clients to let
Mm-hmm.
them know that no
Yeah.
matter how big you are,
Mm-hmm.
how
Yeah.
grown up you
Mm-hmm.
are, I
Mm-hmm.
want to befriend that child in you. I
Yes.
want to talk to that child in you, because
Mm-hmm.
that's who you know best. You don't know
Mm.
who you're becoming, but you know
Mm-hmm.
that child. And I want us to talk to that child. So, where it concerns working with adults, it's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of simple work, very
Mm-hmm.
friendly experiences, a
Yeah.
process that
Mm-hmm.
helps you understand, oh, this
Mm-hmm.
is why I always seem like I'm hitting the mark, only to realize I was aiming wrong the whole
Yeah.
time. I was
Yeah.
aiming wrong. Yeah.
Mm. Wow, and that's a big one, being able to address your inner child wounds,
Yes.
emotional, psychological wounds, because this is why we get stuck. This is one of the
Exactly.
reasons we get we do self-sabotage and self-hurting, is because we are not really aligned with our inner child. And it's like deep inside we're in prison, emotional prison. Some of these
Yes.
things happen when we are 4 years of age, five,
Mm,
6, 7,
yes.
10. I don't know, our dear viewers, even as we listen to this, where when you look back at your life, because it's good to apply this conversation we are having with the coach, where in your life or when did you stop connecting with yourself?
Yeah.
That's a question I'm asking you. It's a coaching question. When did I stop connecting with myself? So it could be,
Mm,
most of the time is in your childhood. We do the disconnection. And the
yes.
disconnection means you move from your heart to your head.
Yes.
And now it becomes about performance. It becomes about, becoming best in class, because you have to
Mm-hmm.
prove yourself, because
Exactly.
you don't feel enough because of the disconnection, that
Precisely.
disconnection with yourself. And when the coach talks about inner child and connecting with yourself and healing that she has gone through and that she can take you through, is making that connection between you and your inner child. And when you do that, now other things begin to work, because the reason things are not working is because of that
Mm-hmm.
disconnect. Yeah,
Yes. Very
isn't
true,
it?
Coach John.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
true.
Yeah,
Very
and
true.
this is part of
And
the process. I'm sure you
yes.
take your clients through to connect with their inner child and to heal so they can move forward. So let me see on the
Yes.
comment section of your reflection on this. Have you done a reconnection to your inner child? Have you
Mm,
done this? And if you've not, we have an opportunity here. You can connect with Coach Moriah. You can we'll leave the contact down there so you can get help. Okay,
yes.
great. Coach, continue. What else would you like to share with us on this
Um,
your chapter?
yes. On my chapter, I'd also
Mm.
like to highlight the power of understanding your will. Back to
Yes,
that vehicle called life that
yes.
we are all driving. And
Mm-hmm.
like you just said, that disconnect happens
Mm-hmm.
when you leave your heart and go to
Mm-hmm.
your head.
Yeah.
So, so what happens is many people are growing. That's why, okay, I'd like to use different analogies, but imagine this: you're
Mm-hmm.
full grown, your
Mm-hmm.
brain is working at its best speed, but your heart
Yes.
is beating at its
Mm-hmm.
slowest.
Mm.
So you look
Mm.
very intelligent, very
Mm-hmm.
ready to move, but your
Mm-hmm.
pulse is so slow.
Yeah.
Naturally, you will be admitted. And this
Mm.
admission per se sounds like or is manifested in one, your work. You look like
Yeah.
you're very progressive, but you have
Mm-hmm.
a gap. So you're gifted,
Mm.
gifted, gifted, but this gap is costing you.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's
Mm-hmm.
socialism at the office. You're not friendly with
Mm.
colleagues. So you
Mm.
cannot be put as an in charge. How will you manage them if you have no form of friendliness, if you're not
Yes.
approachable? And this could have been because of an experience you had as a child. So
True.
when we look at it that way, the issue
Mm-hmm.
of living your heart and living in your head, that would
Mm-hmm.
explain to many people why you look like you have done so much to
Mm-hmm.
attain so much more, but the pace at which manifestation is happening,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't match.
Mm.
It doesn't match, and it's
Mm.
probably because in one way or another, either you have a blind side to your self sabotage or
Yeah.
you're afraid to confront it. Sometimes we
Mm.
just know, hi, self sabotage, stay in that drawer, keep the door closed. I will look for you when I need to. When I see a
Yeah.
coach, then I will address you, self sabotage. But
Mm.
the beauty of life is some of the
Mm-hmm.
things that I've learned from my experience at Destiny Life
Mm-hmm.
Coaching is
Mm-hmm.
just beginning. You know, the one thing that I'll never
Yeah.
forget about it is your notebook can take it. That thing
Yes.
set me free. I wrote and wrote
Mm.
and wrote. And I
Yeah.
thought, if people only knew that what you're holding on to
Mm-hmm.
is mad, that you can just put down in the in the good environment, place down that
Yeah.
clay that you're
Mm-hmm.
holding, and let someone help something beautiful,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So that's, I
Yeah.
feel like that's also a purpose of a coach.
Yes.
So yes, and lastly, I'd like to talk about the wheel of life. This has
Mm-hmm.
really helped me, especially a better part of this year when I took coaching more
Mm-hmm.
seriously,
Mm-hmm.
is explain asking my client to draw their current wheel of life. Where are
Yes.
you at, in all
Yes.
honesty? And we can understand the bumps, the what, we understand why this vehicle of their life is going the way it's going. And after
Yeah.
about six
Mm-hmm.
months, we work together for 3 months, and then I let you loose for three
Mm-hmm.
months, and then I check in. I
Yeah.
say, how are we doing? And we have
Mm.
a brief meeting, and you draw your wheel of life, and we now
Nice.
understand why is there a good flow, why is there
Mm.
fruit, why is there productivity, because now we are understanding what is working, and we are not afraid of what is not working.
Mm. Wow. Wow. Awesome. Well done. And
Thank
that's
you,
that's
coach.
the
Thank
assessment
you.
we are inviting people to do with you and work with you so they can
Mhm.
break the pattern of
Yes,
self sabotage and love themselves and find themselves, define themselves, create a new
yes.
identity. Because when
Mhm.
you do that, creating a new identity, taking time with yourself, that self care,
Mhm.
it's a
A lot.
sign of love, that you love yourself, that you want yourself to win. And it's an experience you deserve.
Mhm.
Uh, so, dear viewers, I don't know where you are, but I can tell you all of us deserve that experience. We deserve to experience the fullness of being here.
We do.
My WhatsApp status this morning was on the quote that life is short and we only live once, and once is enough if you live it well. You
Live
don't
it
need to
well.
come again.
Yes.
Yeah, once is enough. We only
Yeah.
have one chance, and it's enough if you live it well. And so we have this opportunity. Give it your best shot. There's no another one. Give it your best shot. So we cannot
Mm.
really live an average, mediocre, just hoping kind of life. You give it everything.
Yes.
There are, when you look at, sometimes we talk about the four agreements that I believe, I propose these agreements with my clients because they are personal agreements you make with
Mhm.
yourself. And
Yeah.
the first agreement is be impeccable with your word. Like when you give
Mm.
yourself a word, when you tell yourself, this is
Mhm.
what I want for my life, I want to live a beautiful life, I want to have beautiful experiences,
Mm.
give it your everything. Be impeccable with your word. Give your word, deliver. Then you're
Yes.
beginning to change your self-sabotage habits. Another one is never take anything personally. Like it's not
Yeah.
personal.
Yes.
Most of the time we sabotage ourselves because we are thinking what other
Mhm.
people think about us and how will they think. And we are always judging people's and reading their minds. It's not
Yeah.
personal. it's
Mhm.
not it's not personal. Don't take it personal.
Mhm.
When you're moving, just move. It's not about anyone else, it's about you on the finish line. I'm telling you, when people are cheering you, it's because you did not look outside there, you look within yourself.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
the other agreement, if I remember, is give your best all the time.
All the
So my
time.
best may be different at different times, but it's my
Yeah.
best.
Yes.
Is this your best? You know, and that's a
Mhm.
coaching question you can ask yourself. Is this the best I can give? Is this
Mm.
the life that I want? Is this the life? Am I
Mhm.
giving it my best? Uh,
Mhm.
and I mean, if you apply these agreements, you find yourself beginning to wake up, beginning to
Yes.
be driven, beginning to
Yes.
rise up to your passion so you can be the person you're born to be.
Yes.
I've enjoyed your story. I've enjoyed your journey, and
Mhm.
I can't wait to see the transformation that is going to happen, not only to people that you've seen, but to
Mm.
people that are going to come to you, to your service. Because let me
Mhm.
tell you, Coach, I've seen coaches who make greatest changes in this world are coaches that focus on the
Mm.
inner life of the client,
Yes. Thank
that
you.
inner world. Because some, you know, some coaches focus on just transactional. Oh, you meet that goal, and okay, so it's an external goal. But then I
Mm.
can tell you're focusing on internal goal. And it's this internal goal that make the greatest external impact.
Mhm.
So I like your approach. Not every coach has that approach. That's really brilliant.
Mhm.
That you're looking
Mm.
within, and I can tell you've been through Destiny Life Coaching.
Yes, I
So
have, and I loved it.
thank you so much, Coach. God bless
Mm.
you. Now, is there
Thank
a
you.
parting shot that you can tell anyone, and then tell us maybe how we can connect with you, your social media, after the
Mhm.
parting shot, Coach?
All right. I think my parting shot would be it's never too late.
Yeah, yeah,
Never too late. I changed my name, my given name,
yes.
at the age of 42. And I
Mm-hmm.
needed to change that name because I wanted a name that resonated with my future.
Yeah. Oh,
So
wow.
it's never too late.
Mm-hmm.
Today is the future. If
Yes.
you think of it, today was yesterday's future. So
Yes.
every day is your future. So don't
Mm.
wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for a January. A January will just be tomorrow from the end of the previous year. So today
Oh,
is your future. Do
awesome.
something about it.
Awesome. Wow. Today is your future. Do something about it. Now, thank you so much, Coach. And I remember there's one agreement I didn't mention, and this is make no assumptions.
Mm-hmm.
Never make assumptions. And this is one of the reasons why we self-sabotage, is we are
Yeah.
assuming so much. And
Mm-hmm.
so never make assumptions. The four agreements you have to make with yourself, our dear
Yeah.
listeners: take nothing personally, do your best,
Yes.
never make assumptions,
Mm-hmm.
and be impeccable with your words.
True.
I wanted to add what you're taking away. But before you
Mm.
go,
Mm.
dear viewers, on the comment section, I want to know what's your takeaway from this conversation with Coach Moriah. What
Mm.
is your takeaway, and how do you want to apply that in your life? Thank you.
Mm.
God bless you, and see you again here at Breakthrough with Jeff. Bye bye.
Bye.